Welcome back from the break, everyone. As I said at the beginning of the show, we are talking about adoption. On the set, we have with us Mr. Riaz. Brohi, thank you very much, Mr. Brohi, for joining us on the first part.
Thank you, and Assalamu alaikum.
Thank you. And Mr. Brohi is a lawyer, and he's going to enlighten us a little bit about adoption laws. How is adoption defined in the law of Pakistan?
See, there is no definition of adoption in law of Pakistan.
Why is that?
Because we don't have adoption law in Pakistan.
Okay.
There is a adoption, what you call it, defined in other laws. That means a transfer of a child from one family to another.
Okay.
But under the Muslim law, it is only a reception of a child in the adopted family.
Interesting.
Yes. And we have only law of guardianships. That guardianship law cannot be said that is an adoption law.
It's different.
It is very different because there are certain conditions imposed in the guardianship law for maintenance. I mean to say that there are three kinds of guardianship. One is a legal guardianship, one is certified guardianship, and other is de facto guardianship.
Okay, de facto guardianship.
De facto.
Okay.
Legal guardianship, it is a natural guardian, father or father's father. Given the definition, they become the guardian. Certified guardianship is a court appoints any person to be guardian of the ward and guardian of the property.
Oh, okay.
Then there is a de facto guardianship. The de facto, if someone comes voluntarily, look after maintaining the child and looking after the property. So this is where this is the thing we need from the time that there should be an adoption law in Pakistan. There should be a parameter drawn. There should be qualification and disqualification of the person who has been adopting the child. Adopting the child doesn't mean that you are adopting, has to be an orphan. It comes from some other family. It is a reason because some families, what you call it, they don't give birth to the biological child. There are certain medical and whatever the reason. They take into what you call it, they receive the child in the family. That is only a reception under the Muslim laws. They take care. And what you call it, suppose there should be a what you call law. I mean, there should be some department, whoever takes the child, it should be registration.
But why? Why don't we have an adoption law in Pakistan?
Because no one has taken the voice. I would appreciate your channel from what you call it, taking the step or making the awareness among the people.
But I don't understand this. I mean, let me ask you something. Okay, now this is a little bit to do with history. But, you know, pre-partition, it was British law that applied in the subcontinent. So aren't there any sort of, we use so many other British laws. We use it in property rights, we use it in so many other areas of managing and running the country. Did the British leave nothing behind when it came to adoption? They must have.
What you call it, if you talk about England, I don't know presently, but they did not even had the adoption law.
That's interesting.
But that law what you are talking about, that was in the Hindus.
Really?
Adopted. A person, what you call it, transfer from one family to another, he also enjoys the inherited rights. But in Muslim law, a child who, what you call it, comes from another family or taken from anywhere, does not have right of succession.
Oh.
This is where the difference, it is a very confusing. Until and unless proper law is, I mean a child, what you call it, if someone takes the child and suppose he does not get anything during the lifetime of the adopted parents, he cannot enjoy the benefits after their death also.
I can't understand that. If you've taken a child and you have decided this child is now yours, why is it that child is not entitled to everything that you want to give it? Give him, her.
If you want to give it, you have to give it during your lifetime.
As a gift?
As a gift. Not
even when it's not their right. They can't claim on your land when you die.
Muslim can even, what you call it, give to the stranger.
Sorry, I cannot believe that we don't have an adoption. I'm just getting over this one. Okay, all right. If we need an adoption law, what do you think the adoption law should state? What should it say?
Adoption law will give the definition of what is the adoption, who are the parents to adopt the child, how they can adopt it, the entire procedure will be there, what protection a child will be have, and in case of any discrimination, if those parents have their own child later on, whether he is going to enjoy the same rights as he was, or he will be discriminated. There should be check and balance. I think until and unless the law is there, you can't help it. You got to raise your voice, make it to make the government to bring the law in force, promulgate the law, so at least the adoption child should have some rights. Until and unless law is not there, under the Islamic law, he will not have the succession rights.
But I mean, we know people adopt children in Pakistan, whether it is written down on a piece of paper or not, whether it is a law or not, we know that children go into other people's homes and they are raised in other people's homes. We know this. This practice is happening in Pakistan. But how do you adopt a child properly if there is no law for adoption? What are these children?
There is not what you call.
So what are they then? If they're not adopted children, then what are they?
They only give what you call it, not given in adoption, but they come, what you call it, they receive the baby under the Islamic law. They raise them. They have to maintain them. They have to take care. If there is a law, then there is a registration. It's what you call, if you say, you take about as you said, the laws in India, which is still there. There are ceremonies, there are agreements. But we don't have any kind of such agreements over here. We don't have any such kind of ceremonies over there. Yeah.
So what if, I mean, if I adopt a child, I can't give that child my name, my surname?
See, legally you cannot.
How can that be right?
You cannot give the name. But you can give the name to the child as an adopted parent, but not as a real parent.
So what would the child's name be then?
I mean, if what you call sometimes this is a good question. See, there are two things. If you take the child, brings in your family, from a family, then the name, father name, he is going to enjoy of the, what you call it, of the natural parents, biological.
Okay.
If the child is an abandoned child, or if you collect the child from any of the donor agencies, where the child is left in cradle, whose backgrounds are not known, then you have to give your name as a adopted parent.
So the child adopts you as a parent, but you can't adopt the child?
Yeah. No, vice versa, both of you. You will write your name as an adopted father. The child will call you, that will be your adopted child.
But, so you're not, so are you an adopted parent or are you a guardian then? Under what will this fall under? Because this sounds very confusing now.
Very
In fact, it sounds like a nightmare actually to negotiate.
What you call it, you can say you will be a de facto guardian.
Okay, that's the category
you have
under
taken
which,
the voluntarily.
Yeah, so you fall under that category.
Category.
But you cannot use the word adopted parent technically.
No.
And not adopted child technically either.
Yes.
That's ridiculous. We have to do something about this. This just doesn't sound
sure you
right.
Have to.
I really hope that this show helps to, and sort of expand and make, the general audience aware. But this is crazy. And this has just never been addressed. It's just never been raised.
Never been addressed. You have to, what you call it, take the bill in the assembly. Social society has to do something. Now, say for example, you can see there is what you call it adoption centers over here in Pakistan having no license. When there is no law, you don't have the license. You have only a license of a social worker.
So places like Idni Center?
Yes, they don't have license. I mean, there are two things. If the child comes, what you call it, in the Idni Center, for example, or child comes in the Kashana or anywhere.
Abandoned child.
Abandoned child. Suppose if someone comes from abroad.
Yes.
Or someone from here.
Yes.
Takes the child. That is a different. The question is, what check and balance is upon the person who has taken the child?
Well,
do they give the report?
I don't know. I have no idea.
No, I don't think so.
No.
Though this donor agency goes and visits the child,
Are they doing any follow-ups? Are they checking?
There is no follow-up.
No license, therefore no requirement.
No license. And what happened about those children, what you call it, who have not been at what you call it, who could not find the shelter, who could not find the family? They are left over there. You cannot, what you call it, for more than 18 years retain that child. The question is what future that child has after 18 years.
This just sounds bizarre to me. It sounds like a haphazard jigsaw puzzle. Half the pieces are there and half the pieces are missing.
Missing. The question is what? To feeding a child or giving the meal for 3 times or clothes is not sufficient. You have to give the education to the child.
Yeah.
You have to give the skill to the other. At least the child, when leaves that center, should be able to earn its bread and butter.
They should be able to stand on their own 2 feet at least and
because
be independent.
this is not the Western world, where after 18 years, it is where what your child easily finds the employment.
If a young couple, not young couple, a couple let's say, wants to adopt a child, there's no criteria the couple needs to meet? There is no list of things that they must provide about who they are or what they are to take a child from a center?
It is duty of the, what you call it, that center.
But there's nothing standardized through the country.
I mean, for example, I would say, if a person is what you call it, an American, Canadian, or British, they want to adopt the child.
They can come and they can take a child.
No, I'm briefing on that.
Okay.
Whatever, first they will apply to the adopting agency social worker over there in America.
Okay.
They will do the full investigation
of the background.
Whether background and everything, whether they are capable of maintaining the child, whether child will have the proper care, what is their financial position, what education they have. When they are satisfied, they recommend it to the Homeland and Security Service. On the basis of that, they approve it. Then that, what you call it, letter or approval is sent to the United States Embassy, Islamabad. Then they come to the Pakistan.
It's a long process.
It is a process. Either they had find the child first, or now they will, after coming to the Pakistan, they will find.
After approval, they will.
No, they find the child, go through all the process. Process is complete. Visa is issued to the child by the U.S. Embassy. The first duty of those parents is to report to the police and report to the court in America that we have come with the adopted child and we want the status of adopted child here in America. The court gives you the status and what you call it, then the court, it is the responsibility of the court. They share it fully and they always check whether the child has been maintained properly. And if they found anywhere what you call it, child is not maintained properly, they take the child from there. I say, why this procedure is not here in Pakistan?
So
in Pakistan.
Yeah, but then what do people do? I don't understand. What do they do? How do you do this then? If you want to adopt a child, you just go to Kashanat Far and you go to ADI and you say what? What do you say to them?
They simply made the application.
That's it? And you just walk out with the child?
I mean, you have to, what you call, wait. When the child is available, they give you the child. The question is, what security and assurance is taken from this? Whether these people, what you call, scrutinize these documents. If you don't have those papers, if you don't have legal papers, they will not allow you even the guardianship code.
Oh, this all sounds very heavy duty, Mr. Brohi. But thank you very much for joining us on the First Blast. At least we know what the situation is in our country now. I didn't realize it was that bad. I really had no idea it was that bad. You see adopted children everywhere all the time. And you hear about brothers who have children and giving one child to a brother maybe that has no children for infertility reasons or medical reasons. But this whole guardianship versus adoption is a whole new thing for me. Yeah. Thank you very much for joining us on the First Blast. So we're going off now to visit Kashanat Fal, which is a care home for children as well as an adoption center, after the break.